Hey, what's up guys? Houston here. If you're looking for a business credit card that doesn't use your social, your EIN, no documentations, then I'm going to show you one of the easiest credit cards you can get. And usually this here credit card, they give you up to $20,000, okay, on an unsecured credit card. Now, here's the thing about it you have to understand. In order to get a credit card that's unsecured without a social EIN, you do have to prep the file. Now, as a new entrepreneur or an existing business owner, many of us, we tend to just start our bank account with any institution. And that's not the proper way to do it. Now, here's what you want to do. You want to choose one of the gatekeepers, all right? And there's actually 3 top gatekeepers that I like to recommend. Now, the first one, you're going to have Chase. And the reason that these here gatekeepers are so important is because they report to the business credit bureaus. So they report to Experian, Equifax, Small Business Financial Exchange. This is very important. So I need you all to remember that. Small Business Financial Exchange, okay? And then that information is shared with Dun & Bradstreet, okay? Now, don't get caught up on this Dun & Bradstreet thing, but I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Now, your other gatekeeper is Citibank, okay? And they report to Experian, Equifax, Small Business Financial Exchange, and the information to share. Then the other top gatekeeper is Capital One, all right? So they're Experian, and Equifax, all right? And DNB. Whenever you start your business, these are probably the top institutions you want to start with. Now, these are top lending institutions. However, you do not want to start with business credit funding with these here institutions. The reason is, if you're starting out as a brand new business, they are not going to give you $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 credit cards, okay? They don't do that. The reason is because you haven't deposited enough income into the financial institution, and you don't have a long enough relationships, all right? Now, is it possible to get larger amounts with them? Absolutely, all right? Now, for some of you all may say, well, I have Amex. Now, the thing about it with Amex, they report to Small Business Financial Exchange, all right? And then it's picked up with DNB. Now, some of you all, you may have, Blue Vine. Now, here's the thing about it with Blue Vine. Unless you have an actual account with them, not a checking account, but a loan with them, this is no good to you. Blue Vine is no good to you. Now, Blue Vine is a 4th tier lender, all right? But they're no good to you, all right? So that's the reason I tell you guys, you have to be very careful in terms of where you're getting your information from and choosing the right institution to get the funding. So this is the first step, all right? Choosing the right bank. Now, one of the things that I always tell people, when you have a brand new company and you're prepping the file and you're trying to get this $20,000 unsecured credit card, and you may have bad credit, all right? What it is that you need to do is start prepping that file. Now that you got the right business bank account, which is your tier 1, all right? The next thing you need to do, you need to look at some net 30s. Now, I always said net 30s are not important. However, there's certain institutions that will catapult your business to get access to more funding if you choose the right net 30s. Now, here's the thing about it, and the right accounts, especially if you have bad credit, all right? Now, here's the thing about it, and I said something about one of those top tier institutions, which was Capital One, okay? Capital One is the only one, if you have bad credit, that offers you a credit card, a business credit card with a 580 credit score. They're the only one, okay, of the top tier banks, all right? Now, here's the thing about it. Most people don't like it. It's because that Capital One Spark Classic is the Spark Classic business credit card, okay? It's the gold card. The thing that people don't like about it, because it reports to both the personal and the business side. All right, so if you max that card out, it's going to affect your personal side as well. But I continue to tell people you still would want this card if you have bad credit. Again, because it reports to Experian, Equifax, Small Business Financial Exchange. All right, and that information is picked up with DNB. That's the reason that you want that. So Capital One is the only institution that has a product that can be at a tier 1 or a tier 4 when it comes to lending. All right. So that's one of the main things you have to understand. Now, that being said, here's the thing about it. Companies that you would want to prep your file with at the beginning for building up, that will actually give you like a secured or unsecured charge account would be NAV. Okay, so NAV will give you 2 business trade lines. All right, and they report to Experian and Equifax. All right, they used to report to Dun and Bradstreet, but they no longer report to Dun and Bradstreet. However, these are more important than Dun and Bradstreet. All right. Now, to get that $20,000 card, you want to focus on accounts that actually report to the Experian. Here's another thing. You have a company called Fair Figure, okay? Now, here's the thing about Fair Figure, so you understand. They report to Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, Credit Safe, and they have a Fundex score. They're like NAB. They give you your business credit. They give you access to their business credit reports as well as your personal credit reports, all right? But here's the thing about it that makes them different. You register your business with them. If you're already an existing business owner and you have challenging credit, but you have revenue in the business, if you have a Fundex score, then they'll give you a business line of credit, okay? On a credit card. They'll give you a business line of credit. Now with NAB, they'll do a secured as well as a unsecured line of credit with you. All right. Now with NAB, to get the 2 trade lines, this is one of the reasons that I like them, is because you open up a checking account, and then they used to have this card called TIFL. So NAB took over the card TIFL. All right. And so since they took over the card TIFL, this is their business credit card now. All right, so the name is no longer TIFL, it's the NAB business credit card. All right, but the interesting thing about it is because you're going to get 2 trade lines that's reporting on your business credit file. Plus, with this here company, Fair Figure, they're going to give you a business trade line as well. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. Both of these, because of bad credit, no hard pull on the credit, you're going to be able to get funding from them as well. All right. So we already talked about Capital One, right? So we already talked about Capital One. But again, like I said, you're going to use your personal credit, but all you need is the 580, right? So you'll be able to start there and get funding as well. Now, here's something else that you do need to understand. Prepping your file, what it does, it leverages your company, especially when you have bad credit. And that's what you want. You want to be able to leverage your company. If you have a business and you work as a freelancer or in the gig economy, Uber Eats, ride sharing companies like Uber and stuff like that, then other companies you can go to, before we even get to this here, to just give you some funding, you can go to Fundu, okay? Now, please understand with funding, they are a merchant cash advance. So your interest rate is going to be higher. However, they'll offer you up to $10,000 with no credit check. All right. All they want to do is to show proof that you have revenue coming in from your gig economy. All right. Now, that being said, one of the things that you do need to know is that they want you to be in business at least 90 days. Income, they want you to be making at least $1,500 a month. 90 days, $1,500 a month, and no credit check. That's them. You have to have an active bank account. All right. So you do have to have an active bank account. All right. Now, there's another company I talk about is Giggle Finance. See, what I'm doing, I'm trying to put money into your business even before you apply for this here credit card with no PG. So that's what I'm doing. I'm helping you start to put revenue into the business even before you start going after these unsecured cards, with the exception of this Capital One. All right. Now with Giggle Finance, they offer up to $5,000, and again, no credit check, 90 days, revenue $1,500. So these companies, again, they don't want much from you in order to help you get funding. And most people are not even aware that these type of companies is out here. Now, in terms of the company where you want to go to get this $20,000 with no PG, Sam's Club, they pull Synchrony, okay? They pull Synchrony, Experian Business, right? Synchrony, Experian Business. You don't already prep your file to where you have business trade lines on the credit file. Plus, you also are able to fund your business. All right. So here's the thing about it. What screws people up from not getting this card with no PG, okay, or EIN only. What screws them up is when they fill out the application, you want to make sure that I would tell you to go inside if you're able to go inside and tell them. Now, some people say, this is what I understand in terms of this here card. People would go inside and they apply for this card because the people at the counter, they are not aware that you can actually get this card with no PG. So you have to actually point out to them to let them know that you want this here card with no PG. All right. Now, again, the reason is because you prep your file. You have these trade lines showing up on your file. It makes it much easier for you to get to $20,000 in funding. All right. Now, for those of you that may have more questions about getting access to more business credit funding, because we have a database, we can actually tell you the data points, what credit bureaus they pull from, what state you should be in, what other lenders. There are other lenders in your own state most people are not even aware of. So we have a database. We can look at what's actually in your state to see what lenders that you may be able to apply for. But most of the time, people make the mistake because they'll try to go get a business loan. Do not go get a business loan. Stay away from business loan. You always want to start with your credit cards and then your lines of credit. So if you guys have any questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off of the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.